the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you have a minutes from the last meeting before you. Do I hear a motion of minutes to approve?
A motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Andy?
All right. Underwater, the plant's treated 600,230 gallons of water since November 10th. Our average daily usage is 42,873. Filters were backwashed on the 12th and 24th. We repaired one water leak. The water meter's been read for the month of November. The October water report's complete. It's been sent to IDEM. Under wastewater, we're performing daily checks at the lift station, ponds, and the SSO during rain events. Sewer plant's open and we are discharging. Our weekly sewer samples are complete. And the October wastewater report's complete. It's been sent to IDEM. We had an issue with the doors on the sewer plant building, which has halted all work, and would like to have a group meeting next Thursday, the 3rd of December, to resolve the issue. I told Tom later in the afternoon would probably be better because of your schedule, so I guess really we just need you to come up with a time so Robin can advertise it and I can let Tom know. I don't know, as I was telling you before, I've talked to Johnny about it a little bit before, but the doors have just become a big fiasco, and the whole job's come to a complete stop. Mike's already bricked around 2 of the doors. Now it's delayed him enough. He's loaded his stuff up and gone to another job. And I don't know, I don't know when it's going to be resolved. I don't know what the hang-up is. The doors are readily available, but it's, I just don't understand it. So that's why Tom wants to have this meeting, which I guess that's fine. I'd rather just tell them you're getting these doors or we're taking them out of the project and see you later. But, I mean, it's by the time we have this meeting, we're already going to be shut down for 2 weeks.
It's true.
Which, it is what it is. But,
Well, I think at this meeting, we need to make sure that, from what Andy's told me, the doors that they purchased don't even meet the specs that's in the thing, so there's no issue there. I don't know why the holdup is and why they want to argue the point, but I say we have this meeting with them. I told Andy this the last time that he mentioned that there was other issues going on out there. I told Andy that my opinion was we hold a meeting with them and we just tell them the way it is, and it's either they're going to go ahead and follow through with what is in the spec book and get the project completed so we can move forward, or else we're going to pull the rest of it out and just continue to hire it out, general contractors, local or something. I don't know exactly when the contract date is, how long they've got to do this, but at the same time, it's causing an issue. They put the flow meters in there, and he says, and now they're not working properly, and we got to take our readings off there per state requirement for IDEM, and they're supposed to have them calibrated after they moved them, and they haven't been calibrated. So they're not we don't know that they're accurate or not, and now that one's not working, so we just need to get this stuff cleared up, and it's going to get us in some trouble if we don't address it, in a timely manner. So I think that we need to have this meeting and be firm with what we're going to require from them and get a time schedule that if they ain't complied by then, we just do it ourselves. You can compile a list, Andy. The doors are.
well, I'm going to make a list of the unfinished stuff, but I'm also going to just I'm going to make a list of other things that I haven't thrown a fit on. It's just like the grade out there. They completely changed the grade of it. Is that the end of the world? No. But that dirt we had was supposed to be used around the building. They had guys out there running equipment, didn't know what they were doing. You know where the rain gauge was. The same spot's always been. I mean, they've raised that over 2 feet right there. I mean, there was absolutely no reason. When the guy was piling all the dirt there, I kept telling him, I don't want all this dirt here. I want it up there by the building. So I mean, there's just an issue. They're going to say, oh, the issue with the grade was the problem of the building being raised, blah, blah, blah. just an issue we gotta deal with. There's the road. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there, because there again, I've dug that whole road up one time, all over the place, trying to find valves, and we cleaned the sewer plant out and trying to repair broken valves. I dug it, put the stone on one half, put the dirt on the other half, put the dirt back in the hole and packed it down, put the stone back on top of it. Instead, they dug it up, hauled most of it, mixed the stone and the dirt all together, hauled half of it away, covered the whole road. So now that whole road has basically no stone on it, it's just a mud hole. You know, I mean, so there's an issue. There's, cleanup. There's stuff out there that needs to be cleaned up. So I'm gonna compile this whole little list, but I mean, they're their own, in my opinion, I told Tom this, they're their own worst enemy. You know, it's not our fault that they're having issues with their employees and their skill set. You know, I mean, roughly you're paying $229,000 for that work out there, and I don't, for $250,000, I don't want to hear no smack about some $3,500 doors. You know, I mean.
Well, and another thing to add to that, they're saying that these doors are special order doors and it's taking so long and they can't get them and this and that, and then when they finally arrive, they're the wrong ones. They're insulated. An exterior door, which you want them to be insulated so that they ain't wasting your heat going out of the building. Andy knows of a door supplier with the exterior doors and everything for this type of application. He called down there and he can go down and pick them up the same day. So it's not an issue of special order doors and trying to wait on them to be built or made. And apparently these doors ain't even to the right dimensions and sizes as expected and is necessary for the application that they're being installed in. So I'm not. Andy was saying, the guy was telling me you only need 3/4 inches of area to mount these doors in, and that's no way to mount a commercial door on any building, and it's not securing it, and it's not proper application. So I don't want to accept any of that. Rig something just to make it work to get by with what they're wanting to do. It needs to be done right. So.
What time are you thinking?
Is 3 o'clock a decent time?
Oh, that would be all right. Because I just loosely mentioned Tom, maybe even 4 o'clock, but
4 would be better.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's next
Does
Thursday.
4 work for everybody?
4 o'clock. Yeah, it'd be fine with
Yeah,
me.
4 o'clock.
Yeah, that'd be perfect for me. I was just trying to get it.
It's on my wedding anniversary, but after 50 years, I don't think she'll care. So.
You can take her out on the town and bring her to the meeting.
I'm gonna take it. Dress up, man. Dress up. This is our echelon.
Don't tell her I
We're
said
gonna go
that.
fast.
Yeah, tell her Jones.
No, don't tell her I said that.
Hard to believe that's the 3rd of December. Oh my God.
All right, well, with that, Mike Flug has all the brick completed except the front. So once the doors are done, the rest of the brick will go. Fluid Waste still has that manhole on State Road 19 to repair. They did the last segment of lining, so all the lining's complete. Then now Plumb 1's lift station failed, and we replaced the starter and the overload on it, and also replaced the phase sequence relay. And the station is back in normal operation. I'm gonna have Fluid Waste out tomorrow morning to clean the lift station out. There's just a lot of debris in it down at the bottom of it. We plowed and salted on the 21st. I ordered 50 tons of treated road salt. It's going to be here next week. The phone company has 10 service drops to complete, and they'll be finished with all the underground work. So, yeah, it's close. And then lastly, I'd like to get 2 dumpsters. The price is going to be approximately $600 to dispose of our burn piles and various concrete stuff that we have. We're just about out of places to put that kind of stuff, and I've had these burn piles up. They've been going for several years, and it's just down to all kinds of junk. I'd like to get them cleaned up and get them out here.
That's 600 for both of them.
For 2.
For 2.
Yeah. Yeah, one's
Not
gonna be
for
a little
each.
less. One's about 270. I get a little break if I fill one all with concrete, because they take it, pulverize it back into aggregate, and then the other trash one is a little more,
They're those small dumpsters.
30-yard. Yeah.
So is that the actual cost, or do they weigh them once they get stationed? And
No, that's, the
plus
concrete
weight?
one's not gonna matter, but no, the other one,
Okay.
the trash one, I think is up to 8 tons.
Okay.
And then if I go over 8 tons, it would be, I think it's $32.50 a ton, but I don't think it's gonna go over that, but I'd like to get all this miscellaneous junk that we have between water plant, sewer plant, and everywhere cleaned up and out here. Plus I've got some trash, there's some stuff out behind the, trash out of the barn out there. I like to get rid of that junk too, all in one swipe, just get it out of here if that's all right.
Be done.
Under building, had 1 inspection, 1 building permit was issued, we had 6 permit inquiries and 2 zoning inquiries. So,
Do you know offhand where the building permit was?
do I know
Offhand where it was?
offense?
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them come, I mean, I got 2 that are gonna come out here, I haven't done it yet, we're gonna be out here at the subdivision. We're gonna build 2 houses out there.
Oh, really? Cool.
And on Allison Drive, see there's 2 lots that say sold. They actually just dropped the 1 packet off for 1 house yesterday. So they're gonna be starting that one soon.
Thank you, Andy. Laura's absent this evening, so nothing under code enforcement. Robin?
Two things real quick, just reminding me, I talked to, she works for the guy that owns the mobile home park. They have put in an application for variance like a month ago, and I don't know what to do. I tell Kevin, and he's like, I'll know something this week, and today, and this is, you know, every time I text Kevin, this is like week after week, and I texted him today, and I haven't heard from him. Have you talked to him? Because he was gonna call you. So I don't know what to tell her. I mean, the BZA is its own thing.
Those variance on those 2, I mean, short of the variance they applied for, is to fill in some of the empty lots they have. And I think he has 3 homes that he wants to remove and replace. And basically under the ordinance out there, to even match what's around it, they're gonna need a variance because of the setbacks.
And they're just gonna apply for it all at once.
He's doing, I think it's 7 lots, because he had originally talked, see, he brought 2 houses in, and I called him and I said, hey, you gotta have building permits on these things. That's what started it. I said, your other issue is, they're too big for what's here now. I mean, they've all been swapped out over time, but the setbacks are still the same. So they wouldn't be any different than what's there now, if you're following me. And, you know how it is in the back, where they're like over the meter pits and stuff. It's gonna be another, I mean, they'll be one of those, but since they're not our meter pits anymore, we don't care. That's what I told him. But what I told him was, instead of doing this piecemeal, I said, I think you'd be better off to do 1 application for the homes you're gonna remove and for the empties that he wants to fill.
Make a variance for the whole rest of the remaining trailer
Just
parks.
those 7
so
lots, he's listed them, they've listed them in there, I had them list them by lot number. Because if you go into it, like your first one is $125, and each additional one you do at the same time is like, I think 25 or 50. So he's put a thing together to do them all. And it has been a lot of time, he's been calling me, and it's like
It's probably been a month and a half, almost
Yeah,
2 months
which
that they
I told
started.
him, you know, I can't be involved in. I said,
You had his number, Robin, Kevin's.
Yeah,
You gotta give him a call.
okay.
I know they're wanting to get it done because he wants to get the two I stopped him on, he wants to get those done and finished and, you know.
I will say that since this guy has bought this trailer park, it has been cleaned up and is a big, major improvement in what the neighborhood looks like down there. And, you know, I hate for him to get held up because we can't get a hold of the BCA board and have them to meet with him to make a decision.
And I think it's pretty straightforward. Pam had applied for the same thing before and was approved, you know, she had, they changed a couple out. They changed one, I think they changed two out, but then they added one to an empty lot down there. And
And my other thing, instead of having two night meetings in December, I would like to propose that we cancel the one on the 22nd, and then, tentatively I'll look at the calendar and pin it down, like on the 29th in the morning sometime, and do our final claims of the year and our transfers and all of that. I've kind of put all that, since we changed things up when we were talking about the budget, I kind of just put all of that aside right now, and I'm gonna wait as long as I can to find out how much we're gonna get and I went on the DLGF website, and Hamilton County is in budget review right now, so hopefully we'll know something, so
you
I
wanna
just
change
kind
it
of
to
put all
29?
that, yeah.
What day is the week set on?
That's a Tuesday, just a Tuesday morning, or we could even do it Wednesday or Thursday. I mean, we can all look at our calendars or whatever, but instead of doing it the week of Christmas.
Well, I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean,
Never do.
I hear a motion then that we cancel the December 22nd meeting.
I make a motion we cancel the 22nd and reassemble again on the 29th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Was that the number, the date you wanted, Robin?
That's
Was it
fine,
the
yeah.
20
You wanna do like 10 in the morning, and just, or do you all wanna look at your schedules and get back with me,
Can I get back with you?
or?
Yeah, I've been on vacation.
You got a work in day, John? I mean, I just think it's a work day for you, isn't it?
Okay, I mean, even
Yeah,
if
but
you
my-
wanted to do it,
My
just check your
employment time
schedule.
rolls over on the 15th, so all my vacation starts, so I can take a vacation day.
I'm free any
Well,
that
I
day,
don't
any
want you
that
taking
week,
vacation
so
day
whatever
for-
works.
Okay,
For business, you know what I mean? I want to take it for your vacation.
No.
But,
Anytime I'm not work's vacation, so
I was thinking
it's
10
all
in the
good.
morning.
well, Fred's
Fred has to
gotta
work
check
too.
his,
I just
what
gotta
he's
make
got.
sure I don't have anything. I shouldn't have, but I don't wanna speak until I check. Okay, so tentatively it was at
10.
29th at 10
Tuesday,
a.m.
29th. Wrap up the 2015 business.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. We'll move on to old business. Is there any old business this evening?
I don't know whether this would be old business, new business, kind of old new business, but it was brought up recently, so. The cameras that we discussed here, a month or so ago. There was, not another vandalism issue at the, post office, but there was, some issues with the kids hanging out in there and riding the bicycles inside the lobby. And, they were muddy tire prints and all over the carpets and everything in there where there's been riding. So whenever I went in there, I was asked about the cameras, if that was still on the agenda, and I told him yes, that they were, and I would bring it up tonight at the meeting, see if we can't get that as a priority, get that up, because he did tell me again that the postmaster, his boss, is saying that if things continue to happen into there, they're going to lock it up after he leaves every day. So basically, we're going to have about 3 or 4 hours worth of post office services here in town if the kids don't stop it. And I know it's not, it's not our responsibility to, I mean, it is and it isn't, to take care of the inside of that post office, but at the same time, it's the kids that's doing it, and it's the residents that's going to pay the price whenever they should lock the door and nobody can get their mail. So I would like to see that we get those as soon as possible and get them installed where.
I can move the one we have over there.
I'd like to catch these kids that are doing it and get this straightened out. And, I mean, I don't know, nobody knows what time of the day or night they're doing it or whenever. Apparently nobody's caught this issue going on. Sandy Alvarez seen some the last time. There was some issues going on, and those kids were talked to, and he said that everything had seemed to be taken care of and hadn't had any issues until this here happened.
Did that happen, sorry, did that happen before or after
was after.
Mischief
After
makers
he
moved
moved,
out?
It was after.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, because that's what we were talking about, and he said, well, you know how that goes. Whenever the gang leader moves out, someone steps up and takes their place. So he said, you know how these kids are. I said, yeah, but can we put it on the pole or something? I mean, outside even where it's up,
I can
reaching,
put
just
it-
aim towards the door where we can see them go in and out. Or
I can put it on the telephone pole. Then you can see everyone go in and out the door.
it'd be nice if we'd find a place to maybe put it, I don't know, that electric panel or something next door where we could aim it through that front window, or get an angle to where we could see the front of the building and get it shooting through that window so we can see their activity inside.
Inside.
I don't know if there's any spot we could,
I think it'd be too much glare on the window. I mean, it's not that.
Well, if we can get,
It's just that I mean, if you see a kid taking a bike through the door,
yeah.
that's enough there.
But I was just thinking if they went in there and vandalized, I'd like to be able to catch them vandalizing too, and just to see them going in and out doesn't mean they did the vandalism if, you know, later on, but.
You know, there's,
I mean, we can put it inside if they do something to the camera, maybe a picture of them.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they don't destroy
there's
it.
been a lot of
It'll
mischief,
still be on the
mischief
SD
stuff
card. I mean,
going
unless
on
they're
here.
smart enough to.
And I suspect it's basically the same group.
They've never been smart enough to do it.
And,
They've stood on the air conditioner.
I'm in favor of a camera and all that stuff.
Far from it.
If we do catch somebody, you know, I think we need to come down on them with a hammer, so to speak,
Well,
and make an example of them, and maybe some of this other stuff going on in town will at least slow down.
You
These
know-
kids are just out of hand, and they're out of hand because they had no supervision at home. The parents is out of hand. And,
Well,
man,
you know-
we talked about this, and so.
well, Toby, to be honest with you, I'm one of these, I'm a firm believer of not making a criminal out of a kid just
Well, I
because
don't
he's
like
being a
making a criminal
juvenile.
out of a kid either.
But
you know,
after
if you
our,
go to-
after our last ordeal that we had up here where we caught the kids, and you know, we had them red-handed,
Yeah.
and they came up here, and we tried to be the nice guys, and then nothing got taken care of. The parents didn't follow through with what they agreed to do. So I'm with you. I think the only way we're ever going to get it through is to send them down, let the judge talk to them, or something,
Maybe
because the parents don't seem to
will,
care.
Kick in and realize,
The parents don't seem to care.
Well, that's why I say the kids are out of control because their parents are, because the parents don't have any control and don't want to have any control. And a kid's gonna be a kid, I don't care what, you know. And you talk to the parents about these problems and it goes through one ear and out the other. And, the town over the past year, you know, we're out considerable amount of money for no reason, for stuff we shouldn't even have to be paying for.
Yep.
And it's getting worse. It's not. I don't see any plans to get any better if we don't start taking. We have to do something.
Well, I've noticed too. I don't know if
I
Fred.
feel like you, John. I don't want to get no kid in trouble, but you know what?
Well, I don't know if Fred's noticed this or not, but over at the park, I ain't kidding you. I came in around the corner of my house the other night, and it was just getting dark. It's probably about 6:30. I could still see over at the park. And there was a bunch of kids over there, F this, F that, mouthing, chasing the kids across the park, chasing each other, and they were beating on each other. And I thought they were fighting. I stood up there and watched it and got ready to call the police to have them go over there and see what was going on. The next thing I know, they're over there and they were chasing each other across the park, and they were cussing each other, and they were punching each other and everything else, and then they're over there just hanging out together, and then the loud screaming and hollering quit, and they're all buddying up over there. I have no clue what took place, but I stood over there and watched it, and I thought, well, if this escalates and gets any more, I'm going to call and have the sheriff come over and break it up and check to see what's going on. But I've seen that, I think, 3 times now.
I'm thinking if these kids
I don't know.
appear in front of the judge,
It's
the judge is smart enough to know that he needs to put pressure on the parents. And it's gonna take somebody like the judge, you know. The town board talking to these parents is gonna do a bit of good. Hasn't in the past and it won't in the future. That's my opinion.
Well,
And unfortunately, a kid gets caught in the middle, but you know what? They need some discipline as well. Let the kid have a small record now and grow up straight.
Well,
And then-
a juvenile record too.
Yeah,
If they get some
yeah.
intervention early, it may not lead to something major later.
and two.
Did you notice the swings over there? One of the seats is gone, and 2 of the swings are wound.
Seats are gone.
One of them is.
Yeah, that's there.
Well, I didn't see it hanging there. Okay, but
I
2 of
just
them are
left- I just
wound
left-
all the
I
way
just
around
left
the
it up
top
there, so I'll
bar.
be honest with you, I get tired of jacking with them, so they can stay up for 2 or 3 weeks and do without, unless you're telling me to get them down, because I gotta take back over there every time we do it. It's like, it gets old. I just fixed them the other day, and right back up they went. You know, if it weren't so hard to take them off, I'd just take them down for a while and say, there, how about no swing for about 6 months? You know, because I don't know if they're afraid or they're afraid they're going to be seen, because they don't mess with the ones up at the little park. It's always the ones down by the water tower.
Where again, if we had some cameras.
Yeah, and I think that's where most of the older kids are hanging out, down there in that south end of the park instead of up here around this area.
Well, you ought to hear them go into the library in the afternoon. Oh my God. Run in there and they yell, where's our food? Where's our drinks? Where's our cookies? Where is it? I mean, it's
Real
wild.
rude, huh?
Well, some of these kids talk worse than drunken sailors, and I've heard some mighty strange things come out of sailors' mouths. And these kids have put them down to shame, and it's getting out of hand. And it really is. And it's embarrassing. We all have it, and I have it in my neighborhood as well. And when your wife and your children and friends and relatives are out in the yard, they don't want to hear all that.
No.
And I'm not in a position to say something to those kids because I know the parents aren't going to say anything. And then they start cussing me, and then you know how you just, it's a pattern, you know,
One after
it's a
another.
pattern. So, but we're too small of a town to have to put up with that kind of crap, you know. It's just not necessary. And I'd rather spend a few extra bucks now and nip in the bud as to, you know. You got kids threatening people to burn their house down. It scares a lot of these older women, you know. Pardon my French, I don't know if it's politically correct. to say
Older
old,
folks.
But, you know, people get scared easy. And there's enough meanness going on. We don't need all this added stuff, you know.
Well, if they get mad at you, then they do things, you know, scratch your cars or whatever they can do to get even with you. So you best is keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, well, that's, and they know that, and they're taking advantage of it. They come down late at night and key your car. I mean, kids, you know, there's no limit to the things that they can, malicious things they can think of. You know, and they're not afraid of us elderly people. We don't have no police in town, per se, 24/7, you know, and the police have stopped them on occasions, and they take them to their parents and talk to their parents.
And it's still.
And there
hasn't done
again, you
anything.
know, the cops are just, you know, parents don't care.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties the police officer's hand unless he, you know, happens a multitude of times.
Well, some of those parents teach their kids not to pay any attention to the police. I mean, that's happened down there on our corner. You know,
Talk to my lawyer.
talk to my lawyer, yeah.
That's pretty bad when the kids are telling you that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad to hear that coming out of a kid's mouth.
Well, we don't have a juvenile problem per se. We have a parental problem.
Yeah.
And it always goes back to the parents because we're responsible for our children, you know. And I think the judge can handle parents like that a lot better than the town board or, you know. I mean, as we have no other recourse. Any other old business?
New business this evening. We got one utility adjustment here. It's been verified by Andy. Been repaired, I think.
I ought to do the meter.
Any other new business tonight? Anything from the floor? All right, do I hear a motion that we sign the claims and adjourn the meeting?
I motion we sign the claims during the meeting.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
John was supposed to second. He supposed to second the motion.
Oh.